We're up here putting some white down on the hood we repaired yesterday. It's taking a while to dry. It's a little not favorable for painting conditions here today. It's 52 degrees and a lot of humidity. We're at 68%, which really isn't bad for here. It was up quite a bit higher earlier. Got our dragster project. We're going to be getting back on this. I got a couple of really good questions on this one and comments. I know Jeff left me a question and I'll get to that. So I sanded this panel. These panels probably will just get a Scotch-Brite, you know, and what I'm getting ready to show you, the cleaner. This panel got sanded because it had a bunch of waves and dents in it. So we hammered and dollied all around the glass and brought that area up and got that all flat. And then we had a couple dents in the aluminum that we used the rubber dolly and the hammer and got that flattened out, and then we finished it with a DA, metal finished it, whatever you want to call it. So this piece will probably get a little bit of high build on the top of it, so I got something to block. The rest of these pieces will just get an etch and some epoxy primer, and then we'll wet sand that. So let me show you what I got as far as the aluminum prep. Jeff was asking me about aluminum prep. This is what I used. PPG has this stuff available. Kim, it's aluminum cleaner, sort of work together. And you put this one on first, and then you go over it with the cleaner, and it sort of etches and prepares the aluminum, pulls all the black stuff off the aluminum. Aluminum's really dirty in nature by, you know, just the material it is. So I got that, and I got the 2P sheets. So we'll read these. We'll go over the steps. It's got step 1, step 2. It's all written right there in the sheets. We'll read those, and then we'll get on that. That's probably not going to be today. But anyway, that's what we're going to use as far as the chemical steps, Jeff. I know he was asking me about it. Different paint companies have different stuff available. Matrix doesn't sell any aluminum conditioner. I know PPG has it. I know RM sells some. But if you're using raw aluminum, you want to get a product like these to clean and prep the aluminum before you put any kind of primer or etch down, or it won't stick. So this is the other project we're working on. Got this one around here, and we're going to do one more polish on it. I think we're done with the buffing. I got to buff these 2 doors. They haven't been sanded or buffed yet. Just got those hanging on there. This door fits real good. The other door's giving me a little bit of trouble, but that door was a little jacked up before the accident, and I think it's going to have the latch in it and everything in it before it can be fully adjusted. So I do need to bring it out. It seems to be pinching a little bit on the close, and this line is down just a smidge here. So, and it was like that before, but I think if it's got the latch to hang on, it'll be fine. So that's where we're at on this. I figure one more buff job, and you know, of course the doors just got hung up there. We'll have to get those sanded. They do have some trash in them. And then I still have the deck lid to hang and buff also. So I did get a spring for the hood for the deck lid, so we have to paint that spring, and we got those few pieces left to paint, but this thing's pretty close. Hopefully it'll be going home soon. We got to do some black painting on the pans and in the tunnel. We'll touch those up after we get done with all the buffing, of course. And we have to paint this firewall and the bulkhead and the beam and stuff. A little touch-up work in there with some straight black single stage. And then we're going to do a little bit of buffing under the hood here. We're not going to get too carried away. I did buff under the hood. The bottom side of the hood is buffed, and we'll buff these parts on the sides, but a lot of this gets covered with carpet and a spare tire and a water bottle and, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. Got a few little more nibs to sand out here. You can see little nibber. So sanding and buffing, still sanding and buffing. It seems like the sanding and buffing part is the time-consuming part of the job. Somebody asked me why it costs so much to have a car painted, and I'm like, well, it's the hours that you spend making it, you know, what you want. I'm not really good at right out of the gun producing a show car finish. There are some guys that can lay it down, but I haven't got that skill yet. You know, usually I can make it look decent, but if you want it to be perfectly flat and zero of all trash, wet sanding and buffing is the way to go. Now this was a color change on this one. There was collision repair, so it's been a long road on this car. So you can go back and look at some of the early videos. This had a whole front clip put on. It was replaced from this seam forward. All new sheet metal. Well, some of it was used. This fender was replaced. It was actually hit on this side. This is the original fender. New front clip, new gas tank surround, new firewall. The new package that went on, this isn't the package tray, but under the dash there, all that's been replaced. And it's been a long road. Oh, and we replaced the package tray back there and under the window too. We put floors in it also. We replaced the chassis. Got a new chassis, new floorboards. So this car's had a lot of work done on it, and it still isn't over. It just keeps giving, you know. But it's got to be right. And I figure another 20-30 hours of buffing and we'll have it, and probably another, you know, 5, 6, 7 hours of paint work for the little hinges and bolts and knickknacks that always come up when you do a job like this. So yeah, that's what's going on. See here, 7 minutes. It's not too bad. 7:11. I got the little heater going in here, trying to get some sort of heat on this panel. It's aluminum, so it should heat up pretty quick. But this is just about done. We can go ahead and mix up the next stage. I'll take the I think we're good on the paint. Need to get a little that's the heater, no alarm. I have to get the 500 clear. We're going to use a little 500 blending clear. I'm going to put a little hardener in it, and we're going to dust that on here next to give it this sheen, factory under the hood sheen look. So we'll go mix that up. I'll show you how I do that while this is soaking up some rays from the heater there. Need to get this car cleaned up. I wanted to paint it before the YouTube extravaganza, but I don't think that's going to happen. Probably just going to give it a good detail. You know, it's got a little bumps and bruises here and there from racing it, but it's pretty nice cleaned up. It's really dirty right now, as you can see. Looks like one of those barn finds. So that's what happens. Never have time for your own stuff. You know, or never have money to finish it. That's the main thing. Not all the time in the world. It's money that I don't have. Most of our problems. We all have big imaginations. It's paying for the dreams that is the hard part. So we're gonna use a cup. Gonna put some gloves on here. Thanks for the gloves. The mystery glove guy. Somebody sent me a lifetime supply of rubber gloves, and I do appreciate it. Used to be real bad about just getting stuff all over my hands, and that's sort of not good for you. So I've been trying to wear the gloves. I slipped up last week and got the hands all jacked up, and spent a couple weeks trying to get them cleaned up again. So there we go. Hope everybody's having a good day out there today. Not a whole lot going on here. It's still a little cool today. Hopefully it warms up some over the next day or two. It's been cold out. You can see this 500's clear. They use this for a lot of different things. You can use it for pearl. You can use it to put candy in. There's just a lot of different uses for this. You know, I always tell people to keep a quart of this around. A lot of times if you got to lock down a trouble area, or you want to lock down some metallic, You can use this to go over a blend area if you're doing a blend panel and you sand the blend panel and you want to fill that scratch before you put your color on it. You can lay some of this down. So there's a lot of different uses for the 500. It's a good product just to have a can of. This also mixes 1 to 1.5. So we're going to be using the 1 to 1.5 on the cup here. And we don't need a whole lot of this. We just need to get that one coat of this over that base coat. Should be more than enough. Use that stick. Recycle, recycle. I've had this quart for a while. And of course, if you're doing a big project, you're going to go through that. It's available in quarts or gallons, but a quart's good to keep on hand just in case. Sometimes you can lock a problem area down with that before you put the clear on there, and it's less aggressive than the actual clear coat. So sometimes it'll keep stuff from crawling. And then, like I said, there's all kinds of other uses. A lot of times if you want to put some metallic over something, throw some pearl over it, do ghost flames, that's what you use. So we're going to reduce that a little bit. We're going to reduce it down a little more. We're going to probably go almost 1 to 1 here. It is a little cold today, so the products are a little thicker. A lot of times when you're having lifting issues or problems, you'll find yourself having that stuff happen in the winter. Because a lot of guys end up adding a little extra solvent to their product to get it to flow out, to get it to thin out. They find that the product's a little thick in the wintertime. And this stuff's a lot like motor oil, you know. It has a viscosity. It does change the thickness when the temperature gets cold and hot. It does vary the viscosity of the product a little bit. So we're going to just give this a smidge of hardener, you know, just a little bit. You guys have seen Pete put hardener in the base coat to give it that old look, you know, when he's fixing the old cars up. But we're just using this as a little under the hood, you know, to protect our base coat, so our base coat's not the first thing to get hammered on when somebody puts some soap under there or details the car or whatever the case might be. Go ahead and use the Velvis GTI, your rag. It's a rag. You see me wiping my gun out with these things that look like paper towels, but this is a wipe all. And if you're going to wipe your gun out with a rag or a wipe all, make sure that whatever you use is lint free. You can get little lint from the towels. If you wipe your cup out, you'll get little lints in your gun and it'll get into your paint. So make sure that you use a lint-free towel. If you want to use paper towels, I know Bounty towels are when I used to do the scratch and dent repair and was on the road trying to keep the cost down, I used to use the Bounty towels. I know Bounty's not the cheapest brand, but compared to a Kimberly-Clark wipe all, Bounty's a lot cheaper, and it doesn't have any lint in it, and the towels seem to hold up pretty good for painting. We'll get you to the job here. Flying. Sorry for the shaky cam. There we go. That's what we're dealing with. You got this stuff dusted in there. Just basically paint the front edge. It gets a big pad on this, so most of this is going to be covered with a pad. A little heat over here. This is looking good. Let me turn the heat on, or the fan. Let's go ahead and dust a little of this on here. Put my mask on. Respirator there. We're just putting one coat of this down. We don't need a whole lot of this. We're going to go ahead and throw the clear down on it. Using the Secola with the AG40 clear. Fast hardener. We're spraying right about 27 pounds. minutes, so I'm gonna put one more coat of clear on it, and we'll be done with this one. Running out of battery here. Got 28 minutes, so that means a little less than that probably.